Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. Modern Warfare Battle Pass Season 2 came out a week ago, and it has a lot of people really excited, including myself. A lot of new content, new skins, operators, maps, guns, so it's always crazy. But is it good or is it bad? So the next couple of minutes, we are going to find out. They're good. First, we need to clarify how the Battle Pass works for those who are unfamiliar with it. It's a 100 tier system where you can get all sort of things: skins, emblems, consumables, blueprints, watches, charms, stickers, sprays, calling cards, and you can get up to 1,300 COD points if you finish the 100 tiers. That really helps you to purchase things in the store, but also you can actually use it towards your next season. If you get into it, there's two ways to do it. The first entry level is just to pay 1,000 COD points, which is the same as $10. Or you can get the bundle. It's a 2,400 COD points, and that allows you to get the first 20 tiers. So that really helps you to move faster. If you purchase the Battle Pass, you get Operator Ghost from Modern Warfare 2. He is I would say, the main character in this season. But also you get a skin for Operator Thorn, you get a watch, and Season XP boost, which actually helps you to move faster through the ranks. You also get 2 new free weapons with the Battle Pass. You don't have to purchase the Battle Pass to unlock these weapons. You get the GRAW 556 Assault Rifle at tier 15. This is a lightweight rifle that looks more like an SMG, but according to this is more maneuverable, and it has exceptional range, which is something that a lot of these lightweight rifles do not have. So this is a big plus. I haven't played with this one, but I'm gonna try it out, and I'm really looking forward to it. You can unlock the Striker 45 submachine gun at tier 31, and this one has a moderate rate of fire and full auto, and it's hard hitting according to this a longer distance, which is extremely cool, because the problem with a lot of the submachine guns is that you do not have range. And I like that they're adding something that actually will give you that range, and you like to be support from the background. There's a third weapon that is coming during the season, has been announced. It's classified right now, but we don't know how it's going to come or when is it going to release, but we will know soon. Now, when you get to tier 100 of the Battle Pass, you get a classic skin for Ghost. You also get a blueprint for your Striker 45. You get a finishing move for Ghost, and also you get a gold emblem, which is extremely cool. I like that they're giving you extras, because the previous season, at the end of it, all you got was a skin for Mara, which was the operator that you got when you purchased Season 1. So I'm happy that they're giving you more than just the basic skin. You're getting some extras. With this new update, you also get the Akimbo weapon perk. This is available in the Gunsmith, and it gives you the ability to run around with 2 handguns and pretty much gun blazing, and that's extremely cool. You can purchase this perk or you can unlock it. So it takes a while to unlock it because it's the top tier, but it's cool. One thing that I like about this new update is the store has been revamped, and it's now user-friendly. It's similar to a streaming service, and so it's easier to kind of look in it and see the stuff that is available for purchase. I didn't like the one that we had before. It was a bit cumbersome. I think this is a lot easier to use, and I think it's going to incentivize a lot of people to purchase more stuff. Well, now we get into the maps, and I think that this is the part that people are really excited for, because maps are something that it really refreshes the game, in my opinion. And you get Operation Rust, and this is a classic map from Modern Warfare 2. And this is a 6 versus 6 mosh pit. It's all it is. I play with this in Kill Confirm, Domination, Headquarters. I don't know if there is a deathmatch because I didn't get a chance to do it. But it's extremely crazy. It's Rust, so it's a very small map. It's craziness all around. There's higher places, there's lower places. You know, people are running all over the place, but it is fun. This is the time where you find Call of Duty games fun, when there is a lot of craziness going around. If you love the craziness and hectic, I would say, gameplay, this is actually a map that you're going to enjoy. Another map that was introduced with this update is the Atlas Superstore, and this one plays with the basic gameplay modes, and it has a classic 3-lane layout. It's technically what it says. It's a store, and you're in the middle of the store. It looks like a Home Depot or something, or and it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting the way it's laid out, and of course it's crazy too. I have mixed feelings about it. I enjoy some modes with it, but others I found them to be a bit campy, like in particular domination. I feel that, and there's a lot of corners where people can be hiding all the time and they're just waiting for someone to pass through. So you have to be on your toes, and it really limits what you can do with this map. So in paper it looks great, but when you're playing it, it feels that it's not as good as other maps. So I don't know. I found it to be a mixed bag. Another thing that has been introduced, and we're going to see more throughout the season, is limited time modes, and one of them, the one for this week, has been Gunfight Tournament. And I really like this tournament. I would say the Gunfight is perhaps one of my favorite modes in the game. It's very refreshing, it's methodical, it's not crazy. So if you're looking for something more precise and you're looking for something more, I would say, thought out, Gunfight is a mode that I would say you're going to love. A lot of people are really loving this mode. So right now, of course, the tournament allows for people to compete, and I'm really happy for it, and hopefully it remains not only as a time limited mode, but something that remains steadily throughout the lifespan of this game. There is a map that was supposed to be released with this new update. It hasn't been released yet. Up to the moment of this video, I haven't seen it. It's the Bazaar map, also for Gunfight, which is interesting. I love that they're adding more maps to this mode. It really deserves more maps. I love the maps they have, but definitely it makes things more interesting when you get different layouts, so you have to play in a different way. So this is coming. I don't know when, but it was promised. And talking about maps, another map that is coming, it's the Candor Hideout. That also was announced, but it's not released yet, and it hasn't been announced when exactly it's going to be released. But this season is going to see this map. This is going to play out with pretty much all the basic modes, and in my opinion, it's good, because there's one thing that I would say Modern Warfare doesn't have. It doesn't have enough maps to justify a lot of things. So it makes the gameplay is interesting, but sometimes, you know, you get the same map over and over and over again. So it's interesting that we're getting some new, I would say, environment to play along. We are also getting 2 new operators during the season. We have Talon and Mace. They were actually, you were able to see them on the trailer, but they haven't been released yet. But they're really cool. I'm really interested, particularly for Mace. He looks interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Now, what is getting a lot of people excited is the fact that Battle Royale is coming to Modern Warfare. It's going to be called Warzone, and you get it as soon as you launch the Season 2. There's an intro trailer, and you see, of course, the hints all over the place. So it's coming. I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale modes in any game. I would say that the Blackout was fine for Black Ops 4. But I wasn't, I would say, sold out on the whole idea. It's just not me. But it's good that this is coming. So it's giving you something extra in the game. And definitely a lot of people are really excited for it. Now, getting into the nitty-gritty of the game, to the technical aspects of it, many guns have been rebalanced in the game. Some were too powerful. Now they have been depowered a little bit. Some that were not as powerful, or they were not competing as much, they have a boost in their ability. Some maps have been redesigned. There's the closure of secondary floors in some maps for some buildings, where people were abusing technically just to snipe anything that passed through, and which some people might disagree with, because at the end of the day, you know, you have to be on your toes in any game, and it's not about just making things easier for everyone, but at the same time, it gives room for a lot of abuse for certain people. So the closure to some of these locations, in my opinion, is a welcome thing. Perks have also been overhauled and moved around to really accommodate and make I would say, players to be more frontal instead of just hiding in corners and just camping everywhere. And I think this is the idea that we're trying to do, incentivize players to be more offensive rather than just defensive. So we have on perk 1 slot, overkill, swap places with kill chain in perk 2. So this was a bit crazy at first for me, because I was not expecting it, but I do understand now what they're trying to accommodate with that. EOD removed the hacking ability from this and added to Spotter. So some people not liking this one, but I do see what they're trying to accommodate to make Spotter, I would say, more frontal in that sense. And double time, it pretty much cut in half the recharge rate of tactical sprint, which allows you to really sprint more often, and that really plays so well, particularly on larger maps. Quick fix reduces the health regeneration delay. Now any kill will immediately start regeneration. In testing, it went actually from 4.5 seconds to 3 seconds, which is very, very fast. And I think that's good. That really allows people to really get into it in the game right away after they have a kill, so they can move faster. They're not afraid to die sooner. On the perk 2 slot, the Ghost removed the snapshot grenade immunity, and it was moved to Battle Harden, which makes Battle Harden a much better perk. Now, Restock, it changed the equipment recharge rate from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. Kill change was switched with Overkill to perk 1. Point Man, the score gain for score streaks was increased across all modes, and this is very good for those who like to play the objectives. So it really gives an incentive for people to really use Point Man, because you get better score streaks. And I think I haven't really played Point Man as much, but I think I'm gonna try it more often. On the perk 3 slot, you get on tune-up, you get a 7% increase on field upgrade cost reduction, which really is, I wouldn't say it's really much of a change, but it's some change, and I think that's a welcome thing. The Spotter added the hacking ability from EOD, and they're currently working on the ability to hack through walls. So I've been using Spotter a lot. I kind of like Spotter, but I don't think it's as powerful or as useful as necessary. So I'm glad that they're working things out and making the abilities more broad, and the things that actually you can do with Spotter. Now, the perk that has seen the most improvement, and they're really welcome improvements, is Battle Harden. Now, of course, you get the snapshot grenade immunity from Ghost. You also get a gas grenade resistance, which was something that was super necessary for this perk. So the cuff animation is no longer played when you get in through a mist of gas. The slowdown on the gas effect and the blur have been reduced, significantly reduced, and really makes Battle Harden a much better perk for those that like to be offensive and they like to be on the front. So I really like it. You cannot really sprint with this perk, but I think the changes are welcome. The bat. Now it's time to talk about the bat. Of course, there are bad things in this game. I would say that I'm not a fan of this new map for Ground War, Sokov Boneyard. I just don't like it. On paper, looked great. I was excited for it. I wanted to try it out. And once I tried it out, I just didn't like it. It was not a fun experience. And that really brings me back to my point that I just don't like Ground War. It's just not a fun map. The maps are not fun. The gameplay is not fun. And this is coming from someone that has played Battlefield for years. And I'm a bigger fan of Battlefield over Call of Duty. I understand big maps. I understand how they work and the objectives, how they work on these big maps. But it doesn't work out well with Ground War. It's just a really cheap copy of it. There is also a new mode that was called Realism for Ground War. I do like realism on regular maps. I love it because you have to be methodical when you're playing on those maps, and it's like classic, Call of Duty. But it doesn't work so great with Ground War, particularly because you cannot make a difference between friend and foe. All operators look the same from up close to from afar, and it just doesn't work in this big map. It was just tedious. It was not fun at all. And I can use this example from Battlefield 5 last year, where a lot of people were complaining that it was really hard to tell the difference between friend or foe. So what DICE implemented was they changed the color palette to make some things stand out over the others. So that way it was easier to I would say, to decipher who you were going against, who was in front of you, who was behind you. So I don't think you see the same thing with this. So definitely ground war is bad, and realism makes it even worse. And also there's the promise that we're going to get infected ground war. Now, I'm not a fan of infected. I feel that it's a gimmick mode, and it's all it is. I think some people like it for what it is. But in my opinion, it's just there, and it's not necessarily a good mode. Of course, if you're a fan of zombie modes, then you might like this, but I just don't like it. It just doesn't feel right. And I'm thinking that in a big map like Ground War, you know, trying to find people running around, trying to find the last person is going to be just hell. And I just don't feel like it. If you're not the last person, because you know people love on infected, they love to hide on different spots, so they can be the last person standing. So I don't know. It just the idea just doesn't I would say gel with me. Another disappointment with this game is the extremely high time to kill. The TTK causes more frustration and also more campiness within the game, to the point that now a lot of people are calling this window warfare or modern doorfare, because a lot of people are hiding behind doors or in windows. They just don't want to just be out on the open. They just want to be hiding in corners so they can kill whoever passes through. Because of course, you know, people don't want to die so soon. Some people are so concerned about their kill to death ratio, and I'm not the type of person. I love gameplay. I love to be out there. I love to win the objectives. My point is winning at all costs. But some people don't have that mindset, particularly I would say younger players, people that are more accustomed to this new idea of Call of Duty. But the TTK has been revamped, has been reworked. Some guns actually were depowered, but other guns have been overpowered too. So it just gives and allows more deaths in game, which in the end, of course, is more frustration. So in my opinion, that needs to be reworked. Yes, of course, some people are going to say that this is a change, a total change for what actually Call of Duty is. But in my opinion, if you're going to rebalance guns, you have to do it across the board. Spawn killing in this game is still crazy. It is crazy, particularly in certain modes like free-for-all, ground war, and smaller maps. It's people showing up all over the place, right next to you, right behind you, in unexpected places when you least expect it. It's just bad. You know, I feel that even though they have made improvements, there are plenty of hiccups in the system. And it doesn't work, and it doesn't really play so well, to the point that people just decide just to be in a corner away from everyone else, and that's not good. So I feel that they still need to work that out because it's not conducive for I would say, good gameplay. Now, although a lot of aspects of the game have been rebalanced, like guns and the layout of some maps, problems still remain, and in some cases are even worse. The overhaul of the perk system is really open for abuse. Now, I'm glad that they're pushing for players to be more frontal, to be more offensive, but at the same time, the way they move some of these perks to different slots and the abilities, and the way they increase some and decrease others, it's not really, I would say, 100% conducive for good gameplay. And at some point, some people are going to find cracks in the system and they're going to abuse it. And we already seen that. Of course, it's not a perfect system. They're trying to improve the system to make it more user-friendly, but not necessarily it is. So I would say people that they dedicate themselves to play this game 24/7 are going to find those cracks sooner or later. Of course, people that are more casual are going to be abused, and they pretty much cannon fodder. That's all they are, because they do not understand how some of these perks work. So I feel that they need to rework this perk system so people don't take extreme advantage of it. In conclusion, well, I can tell you this, I'm a big fan of Modern Warfare. I'm really having a blast with it. It has become my most favorite game. Although I still play Battlefield 5, I don't know, I've just drawn to Modern Warfare because it's very addictive, it's very hectic, and that's just the nature of Call of Duty. However, I like, in this case, Modern Warfare with the smaller maps and the, I would say, more limited modes in comparison with the big map. I don't like Ground War Ground War is just definitely not for me, and definitely Battle Royale is not going to be for me. But I do like the more classic Call of Duty that is played in Modern Warfare. However, it's not perfect. There's a lot of things that need to be changed in game. There are a lot of things that need to be improved to make this game a much better experience for everyone, for all season players, but also for newcomers, or people that are more accustomed to, I would say, to the Treyarch Black Ops formula of games, but also the people that love Infinity Ward system, which in my opinion I prefer over the fast-paced Call of Duty Black Ops system. But of course, it still needs work. And if I have to give this game at this stage a score, I would say it's an 8.5 out of 10, which in my opinion, it's good. It's getting there. It could be a 9. It could be a 10 if they really iron out all those flaws in the game. But only time can tell. But what is your opinion? What do you think? Are you a fan of Modern Warfare? Are you playing Season 2? You don't like the Battle Pass? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless you. And I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.
Got a personal radar drone ready for escort.